I was listening through the audio of the last episode a little bit. Peace be upon it, maybe, because I was having trouble balancing it. I went online to see if I just found like a list of words that supposedly they use it in like studios and stuff to test audio levels for like movies and film sets and stuff. You say it, and then it covers like all the different sounds the mouth can make, and so can balance the audio really based on like that sample of audio, right?
Oh yeah.
And so because we all have different voices, I want you to follow with me, okay? I'll say it and you repeat it back to me.
Yeah.
Call and response. Okay. Green triangle.
Green triangle.
Green triangle.
Red rhombus.
Red rhombus.
Red rhombus.
Violet viola.
Violet viola.
Violet viola.
Scarlet lemur.
Scarlet lemur.
Scarlet lemur.
Fresh fruit.
Fresh fruit.
Fresh fruit.
Tackle box.
Tackle box.
Tackle box.
Mississippi square.
Mississippi square.
Mississippi square.
And yellow denim.
Yellow denim.
Yellow denim.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that if it makes it any easier. I don't know, just okay. Hi! Welcome to Spicy Chicken. Sorry, that was really loud.
You peaked it! You peaked it!
Okay, hi, welcome to Spicy Chicken Sammich. My name is Vinc, and I didn't win last time. Nobody won last time. Last episode was a fucking mistake, which is why maybe it doesn't exist.
We are recording this about an hour after the last one. Peace be upon it.
There was somehow so much going on and no topic.
So we're gonna try again.
Yeah, and I just had an episode sitting in my pocket, so we're gonna do it today instead because nobody planned anything. And I just like to apologize formally for what happened, even if you never hear it.
Yeah, so hopefully we're in a better place now. I've got a shot and a half of vodka in me, chased down by a corn dog, so I should be good to go.
Good. Carter, how are you feeling about today? You're wearing a blanket like you're sick in bed.
It feels like I almost drowned in a swimming pool and I'm just like getting to my senses. Towel around me and I'm just shivering. We just did an episode and it was shit.
Where were you the last 5 minutes? We talked about that.
Oh, I was playing Isaac and I was...
That's not what I meant.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, you said, like, I'm in a towel and it feels like I drowned. And then you just nodded and you're staring at the ground, unblinking.
Yeah, that's where I was, in a towel. That's my life. That's my small talk.
I had a whole fiasco at the start of the school year about my credits not applying to anything.
Ah.
Yeah, I checked my audit, and it was like, yeah, and just so you know, like, of the 15 credits taken this semester, only 3 will count toward a degree program. And I emailed my advisor, like, hey, how exactly the fuck is that a thing? You vetted my 4-year plan last year, and all of a sudden now it's fucking shit. And she's like, yeah, it's fucking shit. Yeah, so I had to switch all my classes out, so that first week was like, but it's back to normal now.
That's good.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been out of a job for like a month, and it's not that I'm not searching. I'm looking. I'm just a little unlucky right now. It's fine. I got savings. I'm not sad or anything. I can feel my ears getting warm, like I'm being defensive, but I'm not. Everything is cool.
Oh, speaking of being sad, I don't know what kind of vibe I give off, especially in public, but I think people think I'm suicidal. And the reason for that is I got to class early, and so the door was locked, and so I just kind of sat on the floor with earbuds in, just staring at the wall. And then one of my classmates who's also waiting by the door just like waves at me, not knowing if I did something wrong or not. I take the earbud out like, what? Is something wrong? And she's like,
I've been watching you a bit. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. Good job.
and then she just waves at me, and I put the earbud back in like, I don't recall soliciting a pep talk. Why does this happen? Because I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like the younger sibling sometimes when like somehow I gotta be protected. I can handle my own goddamn self. Fuck you and fuck your charity. I know she had good intentions, but I still walked out of that interaction insulted.
Maybe she really liked you.
No, she doesn't. Nah.
Well, I want you to know that you're doing a great job of not being liked by her.
Thanks, man. That means a lot coming from you.
You know what? Fuck the small talk. We've done this enough today.
Yeah, really.
We are clearly running out of steam. Let's get into the meat of this episode.
Okay, fortunately, I have a couple of topics for us today. These are going to take us a little while, so I'm going to call this episode just Forgotten Memories, and I'm going to preface this with a... Carter, you mentioned dreams a little bit earlier. What are you guys' dreams like?
I don't dream.
That's just not true.
Okay, so I do dream, but my memory towards these dreams is non-existent.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, I don't remember them at all.
I feel like you've told me about some of them in the past.
Some of them I do.
Not
Some of them I can recall within a day, but after a day I can't. I don't remember them at all.
I think part of it is that your sleep schedule is actually pretty regular.
Right.
Like, you're good at waking up when you're supposed to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And a big thing about remembering dreams is if you wake up in a certain part of the cycle, it's easier to remember them.
Yeah.
Right.
I wake up several times in the morning because...
I wake up at least once every night.
It's especially right now when I don't have anywhere to be during the week, I might wake up 3 or 4 times before I actually get out of bed. So I remember a lot of my dreams pretty vividly. It's either a poop dream, it's a tooth dream, or it's a school dream. And that's pretty much always true.
My dreams are always super, what's the word for it? Slice of life? They feel like real life. And
Lucid dream?
That doesn't really correlate.
Half lucid. What I mean to say is what would be the word for that? Monotonous almost?
Boring.
Boring.
Feel very real because it's nothing absurd happening. It'll be annoying sometimes where I'll make plans or respond to a text I had awake in the dream, and then someone will be like, hey, what the fuck was that about? Once we had an argument about how I pronounced a word or something, and in the morning I'm and you know, fuck you. You went way too far. It's not that big of a deal. And then after a bit of discourse, I realized I fucking dreamed that. And I thought you were angry at me for and you weren't.
Did you text me that?
No, I verbally accosted you.
I genuinely don't remember that.
Okay, yeah, but all of my dreams are very, very believable to the point where I think they actually happened and they didn't.
I get you.
And it's gotten to the point where it happens often enough that I question whether or not things that actually happen did or not. And so I kind of don't believe any of my memories anymore. And I was reading about that, and that is super uncommon, and the only way to fix it is to sleep 14 hours a day, which obviously isn't possible.
No.
So we're going to remind ourselves of some memories which we have neglected on this podcast, hence forgotten memories. So
the last episode.
That'd be a good one. So I listened through a bunch of the episodes in the past, and I have written down 6 stories we alluded to but never told. And so today we're going to tell them. Plug those holes in our compendium.
Yeah, let's plug our holes.
Yeah, let's plug our holes, everybody.
I don't know.
And this isn't going to be a point episode. I'll just pick a winner or something. I'll figure it out. Also, stop kicking the table.
I was kneeing it. I was
Stop it. Okay, so we have 2 each. Let's start with Nathaniel.
Okay.
On episode 3 of this podcast, you mentioned that you got your leg stuck in a toilet, and I want details.
It's good that we're starting off with this because this is such a nothing story.
How is it a nothing story?
Yeah,
how does that happen? And it's not a big deal. I feel like I would never live that down in my house. I guess you did run around with poopy in your pants a lot.
How did that happen, actually?
Oh,
I was pretty young. I was 3 or 4, because I know that when I moved to this state, I was 6, and this was when I was in the previous one.
Uh-huh.
So this was before I became sentient. I have those memories. I don't really remember how they happened. It's difficult.
They're nebulous non sequitur memories.
I don't know what I did. I was in the bathroom, and it was time to go. Okay, my bladder was bursting. My ass was alive.
I'm glad.
Maybe it was dark in the room and I was stepping over it so that I could sit on it, or just, I don't know. The next thing I remember, my foot is halfway down that pipe and I pull out, I'm dripping toilet water all over the place, and I'm just Mom! I don't know. It's too far back for me to remember context. It's just one moment I was standing there and the next my leg is drenched.
Is that your earliest memory?
It's not my earliest, but it's yeah, I guess it's close. I didn't cry or anything. I wasn't too broken up about it. I'm just hey, Mom, I stepped in the toilet. Isn't that fucked up?
I don't know. When I think my earliest memories, I think of the moment that welcomed my conscience into this world as being fucking petrified. In my room, the bed was normally in the corner, and we decided to move it so we could put a new shelf in. And my memory is it was June 19th, 2006.
Oh.
Remember the day very clearly. I was laying in bed in this new spot in my room, and because the bed wasn't sunken into that part of the carpet yet, it was just creaking and shifting. And I thought the bed was gonna fall through the floor. And so the whole time it would be I'd be And I went crying to my dad, like, put it back! And so we had to move the dresser out of the room again. And he was mad. And that's how my life started.
Carter, what's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory, ironically enough, was a dream that I had.
Ooh.
Like, I was going down this highway, and I was just a small little kid driving a car. And that's my first memory. That's
Really?
it. Yeah. There was, like, nothing bad going on. It was just me driving a car.
Weird.
I have had a few driving dreams. Those are scary.
I'm never in the driver's seat in my driving dreams. I'm always being driven.
I have driving dreams where I'm driving from the back seat, and that really gets me. And then, because I actually remember a couple of those, I woke up and I was like, wait, that's not how that works.
yeah, that's such a familiar reaction to being a kid. I saw the Blues Brothers, and there's a scene in it where they drive their car through a mall, and they crash through stores, and there's police cars following, and one of them flips over. It's like a really goofy scene. But as a 4-year-old, you just see people running out of the way of cars flying down the middle of a place where cars aren't supposed to be, and it fucking terrifies you. And so I had so many memories of just sitting in the back seat of that car where there's nobody in any other seat, and it's just autonomously driving through a mall.
Oh, God.
But, like, I remember distinctly the slapstick sound effects and, like, my dad laughing in the distance. I remember living in a comedy scene but being terrified. And that was one of those recurring dreams that just ruined my life as a kid.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
So that's my leg toilet dream. The tangents that we went on were much more interesting than that.
That's what I was kind of banking on. All right. My next story is one that I alluded to, and I've told it before, but not on this podcast. It was a long time ago before I met Ty the Review, and it's about how I've touched dicks of other men.
That wasn't a bit?
No.
I don't remember that at all.
I seem to recall me bringing it up and being like, but I'm not going to tell that right now, and then you're like, oh yeah, I have a similar story. And then we just moved on.
I don't remember that at all.
You two made the penises kiss?
Not
No, you
together.
touched the dick.
I got it.
I don't know, I was like 6, 7.
Ah, shit. So you guys should be arrested.
I wasn't with a grown-up.
How did your hogs slurp each other?
Friend growing up who I drifted apart from.
Was it because of the dick touching?
No, that was unrelated pretty much. We were just in my kitchen play date and just fucking flopped his cock out. And I was like, I got one of those. And so we just, not knowing a damn thing, we're helicoptering dicks. And then they touched, and I was like, that feels weird. And so I stopped doing it. And then I told my mom about it, and she was like, I'm gonna disown you. I tried to forget about it best I could. I met him again in high school, like a good 10-something years later. We were in health class together. I wasn't thinking about it in the forefront of my brain, so I just saw him, and I was like, oh, hey, it's been a while. And he was just gave me like this terrified look, because he's like a jock now. He's like popular and cool. He's like, the fucking bitches type. So I had the power to ruin that guy's image if I so chose. But, I decided that, people already think I'm gay. I'm not going to give him more material.
Jesus.
I don't think it's super weird. Like, I've never been the one to flop my cock out with a friend, but
I should fucking hope so.
I have had more than one friend do that throughout my life. But, like, as a non sequitur, just like show us his dick. And it was when we were really young, so it didn't mean anything to us, but I get it. I understand it. I accept you both for who you are.
What?
So that's my story. Anyway, Carter, what is your dick touching story that you alluded to?
I've never had a story like that. The hell?
What did you say?
What do you mean?
Hang on.
What?
Roll the tape.
Roll the tape. I'm rolling the tape.
I've never touched a dick. The hell?
And I've already told the story about how I've touched dicks with another man.
There's a good story.
What?
Yeah.
I have a story about, like, a weird moment about that, yeah. I've never touched... Oh, unless you mean, like, the basketball story. Did I tell about the basketball story at all?
No, but I'm interested.
So, in middle school, my mom forced me to be in, like, cross-country and basketball and all that. And I was horrible. I was really horrible at it. Part of the C team for basketball, in which, if you don't know what the C team is, I'll tell you that the A and B team are better than the C team. For cross-country, I think I've already told this, I was a long distance, even though I was not supposed to be because I was out of breath. What happened is that you run around the track a couple times to practice, and then they're like,
stay here if you want to do cross country, and go over there if you want to sprint.
and I was too out of breath to even go over there. Anyway, there is a... I believe this was during the basketball. There was this asshole. You can cut this out. His name was
Poopfartus, Diarrheaus, Rumpbuttus, Esquire.
basically the one person that I really hated during middle school. He was like the biggest asshole, and he treated me like an ass for no reason.
We all have it bad
Poopfartus.
in our lives.
Yeah, we were just about to go to a school to do a basketball game. We were just waiting in the locker room, and I was taking a piss. I was just pissing in the urinal. And for some reason, he's fucking sliding underneath the urinal, getting a good crotch view of my dick. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, no, nothing. And I'm like, fucking what the fuck is wrong with me?
Nothing. He suspected nothing. I did it.
Yeah, like, as you know, like, I was a nerd. He was, like, a popular guy. So, the fact that he did that raised a ton of questions, and I believe a lot of people around us were like,
Rumpbuttus.
what the fuck did you just do? So he just embarrassed the shit out of himself as he looked at my cock. That's
The
the
man
story.
got on his hands and knees in a public restroom and climbed under the urinal to get a good look at your cock.
He didn't crawl. It was tiled floors, and he slid on his side, and it managed to get underneath the urinal.
That does not just happen.
That, I don't know.
What?
But yeah, I don't have I was touching a dick story, but that's like the closest dick story that I have.
That's weirder, I think.
Yeah.
Middle schoolers in bathrooms get up to some shit.
What the fuck, dude?
He was fucking. Well, I mean, he didn't fucking say anything bad about my dick, so I'm hoping that it was like reasonable size.
Maybe that's why he did it. He had some like witty thing to say about your dick prepared, and he slid in to give you the sauce, and then he saw your Buddha dick, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
I could have swore that I told that story, but maybe not. I don't.
I would remember that if you told it.
I thought I told it.
Maybe not on the podcast, maybe off podcast. You want to hear my
Poopfartus, Diarrheaus, Rumpbuttus, Esquire.
story? You mentioned the name,
Poopfartus,
and I said everyone has a bad
Diarrheaus.
story. You want to hear mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is in elementary school. Once a week they had hot lunch. You could just get lunch. It was hot, and it came in a tiny little styrofoam cup. It was like 10 calories of food, and it was shit, but it was something, you know?
I had hot lunch every single day. I didn't know that it was like a rare thing.
No, it was a rare thing. You plugged in for the whole semester, or the whole school year, I think. You had your meal plan set up the whole way. So you would get a meal ticket every Wednesday, and you give it to the person in line, and then they would give you what your parents said you could have that day. My dad didn't know that when he signed me up for it, so he only got me one day out of the whole year with that food. And so he got me a tiny little cup of buttered noodles and a couple of grapes. And that was my lunch, and I was fucking hyped about it.
Nice, it's a good meal.
Gave them a meal ticket, and I got my buttered noodles. I was like, oh my god, noodles! Fuck! Shit! So I went over to my friend's lunch table, and I'm hustling over there, and I put my fucking cup of noodles down, and I'm like, boys, oh, you peasants. The king among kings has arrived with his buttered Parmesan noodles. Suck my fat fucking adolescent cock.
No.
Well, then I'm like, I forgot my fucking grapes. Fuck. And so I have no meal ticket, but I'm like, maybe they'll work with me. And so I go back out of the room. I ask him for grapes, and they're like,
Where's your meal ticket?
and I'm like, I gave it to you. And they're like,
Fuck you.
so I left. And then when I walk back over, I see this big fat kid. You already know his name. And he sits down where my food is, cracks the top off, and starts fucking eating it. Nico's sitting next to him, obviously, and Nico's like, hey, that's Aiden's, isn't it? And this guy goes,
He's not here.
Not anymore.
I hear this conversation because I'm literally standing 2 feet from him, peering over his shoulder while he's like, Aiden's not here. And then I'm like, hey, I am here, actually. And he's like,
No, you're not.
and because you're a kid, you're like, fuck, and so I just sat in the corner, didn't eat anything.
Ah,
And that was the one day out of the year I got hot lunch.
I actually also knew him.
Poopfartus, Diarrheaus, Rumpbuttus, Esquire.
When I was a kid.
Ah.
I consider him to be the first friend I ever made in school.
Ah, shit, so you're an asshole.
They're all the same kid.
Poopfartus,
Wasn't that problematic because this was, I met him in preschool.
Okay.
I was 4, he was 3. There's only 2 memories I have with him. There's one, I was like, I'm 4 years old, and he was like,
I'm 3 years old.
And I'm like, 4 is bigger than 3. And he's like, no, it's not. And
Dude, he fucking got you there.
that was it.
Is there a single
Diarrheaus.
that's not rife with contradictions? Like, what the fuck?
Eventually, I got my revenge. There was this school event. It was like a dance party or whatever. So in the school gym. Are you orgasming over there?
Yeah,
What?
I've been noticing that there's like 1 or 2 Carter breaths that are really loud. Like, you just go all like...
You said dance parties, and I used to go to a ton of dance parties in middle school.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
What,
man, that
what a
was
player you are.
Yeah, that was such a good time. Anyway.
So yeah, lame-ass elementary school dance. I'm just like running in circles because number 1, it's hard for me to interact with people, and number 2, I don't know how to dance, so I'm literally running in circles, and then
Maybe something clicked. I like to imagine you're flailing your arms wildly while you do it.
Rumpbuttus.
little sister who's like 2.5 years younger than me or something. She just walks up. I just fucking boom. I just fucking run into her. She falls on her ass and she starts crying. And I'm like, oh, sorry. And I run away.
And that was revenge well served.
That was revenge for that fucking asshole claiming that 3 was bigger than 4.
What a fucking idiot.
Well, so, yeah, I guess this well's dry by now.
Alright, now for the first Carter story.
I thought I told mine.
Well, you weren't prompted.
Yeah, you did. You were like, hey, so what's the dick story?
Sure, whatever. At one point, we mentioned you have a very complicated relationship with money.
Money.
You spend a lot, but you're also a very frugal guy. But I think this is your finest hour. May you tell us about the time you haggled for a dog bed?
Oh, jeez. I don't really think of it as like a big event for me because I've like done that before.
Yeah, but in a fucking Target.
I used to do it at a grocery store. Like I used to work at a grocery store and haggle with the people there.
That's not a thing that happens anywhere but in your world. You used to imagine going to like a Ben and Jerry's and being like, it's for a small, and you're like, hey, listen. It seems like you guys have a lot of work going on. Like chocolate chips, that's a big hassle getting them out of the back room. Tell you what, I'll hold them and you just knock off like a good 40 cents.
I mean, if it's a talent, you might as well use it.
I used to know them. I knew that they didn't fucking care about their job. I was like, you might like give me a free meal for this, but you just punch in a number and then you get a free meal from them. Anyway, about the dog bed.
Yeah, it was on the shelf. It said $10, right?
Yes. And you guys are like, why the fuck are you looking at the dog beds? I'm like, dude, they look really cool. Also, this one's $10.
Distinctly remember it looking like it was a mislabel, though.
It was the only one there, and I thought it was really weird because, like, on one end of the aisle, there was the one dog bed, and on the other end, there were a ton of other dog beds.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this one really speaks to me. This one's a big one. This one
speaks to me. Yeah, and it's $10 as opposed to $50 like the rest.
Well, and I've been wanting a futon because this is when Aiden and I were like living together. This was the time where Nate broke one of my fucking chairs because his ass is big or something.
What?
That happened at some point.
At some point, whatever. But yeah, we were missing a ton of chairs. I wanted to sit down on a non-wooden floor, so I was like, dog bed for $10? Yes, please. Went over to the fucking self-checkout, checked it out, saw it was $45. I was like, this is not gonna work out. Waved my hand at somebody. They're like,
Hey, what's up?
I was like, well, on this shelf it said it was $10, but for some reason it was $45, and I could tell that this person did not give a fuck about
Somebody
their.
put it back in the wrong place.
I actually did offer. I was like, hey, if you want to put this back, you can, and that also allows them to they don't want to fucking do that. They have to give me the discount for it. Fucking dog bed was worth $10 for me.
And then we had a dog bed.
That was what brought everybody into the dorm.
Yeah, I loved that thing. Like,
That thing
unironically.
Thinking about getting another one for the cat. I'm sad that I don't have it anymore. It's because there was nowhere to put it in the house.
The fucking episode where you brought it up the first time is one of my favorite things. You're like, I got rid of it, and we're like, what happened? And you're like, well, I don't have a dog.
Yeah.
Fuck!
I was living with my mom, and I didn't want to be like, hey, Mom, so I bought a dog bed, and I haggled with it. So I was like,
know what I went through to get this thing.
During that episode, didn't you justify it with a hole that was in it?
Yeah,
I believe so,
I
yeah.
said there was a hole in it.
Because I get that, I understand.
I thought it was damaged, and I thought it was on clearance, and I thought that's why it was there.
Because, like, I wouldn't take it just being a dog bed as a valid reason to get rid of it.
That's what's funny about it.
Despite its intended purpose, that thing is a bomb-ass pillow. That thing is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was lovely. That is it? That's the dog bed.
Yeah,
story.
miss that thing. Wherever you are, baby.
Yeah.
It's in the landfill.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You just smooched the landfill. Now you have hepatitis C.
I don't take it back.
Okay, so now to the second half. Nathaniel, would you say that you are a fan of aminals?
Yeah.
Because I recall once we were walking past like a bunch of horses, and then a horse came up to the fence, and you were like, "It's so fucking cute!" Which you didn't mention on the podcast, I thought it was funny. And the fact that nobody laughed makes me feel really self-conscious, but we're gonna move on. So, despite the fact that... What?
No, sorry. It was funny. I just don't remember saying that.
We were all walking to the apartment or something, and then the horse came up and sidled on up to the fence. We were walking past the horse stables, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's so cute. Look at it. It's so cute." Like, there's something about animals, they're so cute.
I believe you.
It was a wholesome 100 moment. Can't wait to cut it because nobody reacted to it. Okay, but as much as you claim to love animals, I have a story about a time in which you were terrified. You were scared out of your mind. You thought you were going to fucking explode.
Oh.
Tell us about the BWR bats.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one.
Did we mention this briefly?
Yeah, we
we
did.
did.
Not in great detail.
So, we all met in college.
Uh-huh.
Right at the start of college for all of us because we
In the
lived...
first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we lived in the same building. And that building, we have some great memories there, was kind of cruddy.
They were in spite of the building.
Yeah, no AC, pretty cramped, honestly.
And we lived on the top floor where all the heat went.
Yeah, it was rough up there
Yeah.
during the hot seasons.
A problem that developed latently. You had to keep the windows closed at night, right?
Yeah, we kept them open because it was fucking hot. And as a direct consequence of this, we had some little visitors from time to time.
Well. It wasn't because of the windows. It was because we were on the 4th floor of the building. The janitor closet led straight to the attic. And the attic is where all the bats were. So
Really?
Mm-hmm. So sometimes the janitor closet was left open, and therefore the bats would come in.
I do distinctly remember a bat being, like, stuck in the screen of the window, though.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I fucking pushed that thing out. That was fun.
He fucking punched a bat back into the night.
Well, what happened was, like, I was... Yeah, well, I was talking to the... Call him an RA. There's a bat on the screen, and they're like...
I don't know what to do about it.
Well,
Oh, don't worry, I got this.
so I was like, how about I, like, take off the screen and then, like, slowly scrape the bat off? But what happened was, like, as I was taking it off, it, like, slid out of the building. So while the bat was on the screen just fell outside.
What?
And I just stared at it, and I was like...
Stuck to it.
He was stuck to it. I'm like, it was just me, Tristan, and then the RA. And like Tristan just looked at it. He was laughing his shit off, and the RA was just like, "Dude, just grab the screen and bring it back." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll do it."
Toast lands butter side down. Oh no!
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, that's."
Fucker fell 45 feet and got crushed by a pane of metal.
These bats were such a common occurrence that they had posters up all around the hall that was
Yeah.
like, this is what you do if you see a bat.
Yeah, they blamed the windows. We couldn't keep them open at night.
Yeah, it was because of the janitor closet. Yeah, they.
Fuck, it was so hot.
And so just once every couple of weeks, someone would just see a bat crawling around on the floor. Usually they wouldn't fly. There was one that did, and that was the most interesting one. But usually they'd just be like plodding around, often in the bathroom. Oh,
I have a video of one.
So like 4 people would just be gathered watching it, and then someone's got to call like the RA,
animal control or whatever.
The supervisor for the building, and then we just wait and look at it.
And you gotta imagine, since the building is a door with nothing but halogen light, the thing is fucking blinded. It's like...
There was one time that that one went into a shower, and I don't think anyone was in there, but if someone like went in there naked, ready to get scrubbed off, then that would have been a rude awakening. But there was one time where the fucker did take flight, and it was when we got back from somewhere. I think we got back from dinner. It was a whole saga. I remember being there for so long because a particular moment where I was poised to like step into a different hallway.
There's a big T, the building.
And then I just see something go whoosh, and I'm like, I almost didn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
There was one point where it got into with all that my room was on.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm walking, it starts flying right the fuck at my head. And I'm like,
what I heard was, I was in my room, right? And by the way, you were on like the farthest corner of the building from my room,
Yeah.
right? I was just in my room sitting, and then I heard... followed by a bang. I thought somebody had a fucking gun or something and they were shooting down the hallways. But no, it was just, I guess, a bat flying directly at Nate's face, and he, in the clutter of turning around, just like punches a wall as hard as he fucking can. The whole building shook.
I think what happened was that it was like coming at me at a downward angle. So I was like, oh god, I gotta get low. So I like tumbled.
Yeah,
In that tumble, I probably hit the wall.
It was a loud fucking bang, dude.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
It was like the fucker was trying to get me too. Like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but it was just down the hall, and then it turns around and goes back, and I'm just like, holy shit!
Yeah, I remember like I was in my dorm and I was just peeking out. I was like, ooh, that's a nice bat. And then it comes towards me and I'm like, all right, back in the dorm. And then like one time I just saw you and I was like, hey Nate, there's a bat. And you're like, what? And then you see it and you're like, ah!
Yeah, and this was the COVID semester, right?
Yep.
We were all in the hallway with masks and stuff, and I just went like, and I kind of stepped out into the hallway like. At the other end of the hallway, there was like people. You know, I didn't know them, but I was like, what the fuck? And then, just hear from across the hall. And by the way, this is during quiet hours. It was like really late at night, and they were like,
There's a fucking bat!
I think that's what I had said, yeah.
Was that?
That might have been me, yeah.
I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, there's a T, and it was all the way on the other side.
Yeah, I was fucking rattled.
Yeah.
And you hit an octave untold.
Yeah, it only happens when something really catches me off guard, and that fit the bill. That scared the shit out of me.
But yeah, they were a problem for so long, and because of that first semester just sucked. It was so hot.
Yeah, Jesus.
And now we have a house with air conditioner.
Yeah, except it kind of doesn't work.
It usually works. It works better than that.
Yeah, because at least it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bat story.
It's a good one. It's a good one. We'll probably only have time for one more. We have talked about this in the past, and I recall when this was brought up, Carter, I yelled at you because it relied on context we did not have and you refused to provide it.
What?
Carter, can you explain to everyone what your food committee thighs are?
That's
Oh. Well, here's the deal. Some people think I am a petite boy.
I know the whole quote. I know the quote.
I am like 250 pounds. 250 pounds of man, and I believe below, like, my torso is like 100 of those pounds, if not 150 of those pounds.
You got some fucking hams on you.
Yeah, I have like a big stomach, but usually that's hidden by my clothes. But whenever I wear like
You
shorts,
wear it well.
yeah, I wear it well. Like, but when it comes to like my jeans or like my shorts, I have a huge ass that I cannot like hide from everybody.
Right.
All of us,
We're in food committee together.
we are in food committee. I'm not sure what the situation.
Yeah,
is.
it might be over.
It might be. It might be over. We have not heard anything from them.
That's not atypical, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, food committee was or is an organization at our university where it's just basically go to the establishments around campus, get a little sample, and just learn about the process, like the supply chain. And
It's just free food and it goes on our resume. It's cool.
All right, now I gotta further this story more, and I gotta make
I
it
feel
sound.
like- I feel like-
there's more.
We've
There's
been talking
more.
in circles for like 5 minutes.
I feel like he shouldn't be the one telling the story.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
yeah.
I'll put you on the track and you can talk from there.
Well, what I need.
So, there's a-
no. I got it. I'm gonna get there. Give me a second.
What, an hour?
No. What? It doesn't matter.
It does. I gotta suffer through it.
Here's the deal. I'm a fat man. I need to explain what food committee is. I need to explain what food committee is, and now I'm going to tie it all together. Here we go.
Okay.
It was a freshman spring semester.
Yeah.
There was a guy, and both of us were there before everybody else, and we were just like laughing and having a fun time. And I remember that he took a picture of me on my chair, and I forget if it was edited by him or if it was by you,
Oh,
Nate.
it was Nate. It was
It
Nate.
was definitely Nate. But yeah, he took the picture of me. He sent it to the GroupMe, which is a stupid media share website.
yeah.
And that's where the meme came from, food committee thighs, because my ass looks super huge in that picture.
You can change the crop boundaries of any image. And what that does basically is if the bottom of the image is really skinny, everything down there gets really thick. And Nate just put Carter in a little coffin-shaped box, and he just became this absolute meat machine.
Because once we discovered this warping functionality, we would have late nights where we would just
Send hundreds of them.
we would just make monstrosities for hours and laugh our asses off until like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Horrid creations have stemmed from that, but that's how his thighs became a meme. They just bloated to an unreasonable size.
I was just sitting like that, and I looked really annoyed.
Yeah,
and
it's really annoyed, and it's a really unflattering pair of jeans.
Yeah, very unflattering, and then Nate altered it so that my ass was huge.
Yeah, gave you that Shakira hip.
Yeah.
And you'd think that joke would die, but this man has since ripped through so many pairs of jeans.
Dude, it's when you, like, chafe a lot, and then, like, your jeans...
Chaff.
It's chaff. Sorry.
But that's a story for another day.
It's when you chaff a
part
lot. Shut up. It's when you chaff a lot. When your thighs rub up against each other, that's when the fucking jeans rub up against each other. And then it creates, like, fucking strain, and then it rips there.
There was one day before work where you're just like, Aiden, I have a bit of a situation. And then you just pulled up a pair of jeans, and I swear to God, you could fit like a toddler through that hole. At least a foot across. The entire crotch just fucking departicleized.
How many jeans have I ripped? I know it's at least 2. It might have been 3.
You ripped one on the
There was
road trip.
one on the road trip, yeah. That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that was a small hole.
Fuck, this
But
is
the
stupid.
other one, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was like visceral.
Yeah, futon nor pant can contain his ass.
Right, that happened too. Okay, so I have one more here. It's the least interesting of them. Should we just skip it? Or
What is it?
What is that?
it's about me. It's about the way this podcast started and the AI debate we had.
Oh, did we not talk about that? I thought we did.
I mentioned it briefly, but we didn't talk about it.
Oh.
I want to have different images each episode. I suggested we do AI art. That was met with unbelievable pushback. I fought for that for days.
Well, yeah, it was at the point where, like, it was very controversial.
Yeah, it was
like,
back when it was at its most scary, right? When it was,
Yeah.
like, first in the public consciousness. And I was excited, but because Nate's an artist and,
I was just worrying about, like, if this podcast, for some reason, becomes really popular and we have AI art and AI art is, like, not
Right.
so good, I would be like, that's not good for us. So.
Yeah, also it was kind of ugly as sin.
Yeah.
Part of me liked that, but I'm really glad that we wound up going with the changing color background in the Sammich.
There were some interesting compositions that came from it, but I think in general it's better to go traditional for this.
I really remember that like feeling of defeatedness of like, yeah, I'm not gonna win this fight.
I get where you were coming from though. It is interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna deduct you.
But I'm glad it became like the AI art quiz and the ChatGPT quiz. Those were much more fun. One of those moments where I'm like, man, I kind of dodged a bullet there. Okay, so that's all of them. So as we stated at the beginning of this episode, actually wait, give me 1 minute. Talk amongst yourselves.
Thank you for joining us on Spicy. Just cuts the episode short.
So after the game is over, we usually have a segment where we recommend things that we enjoy. That is the chicken nugget. Oh damn! What's going on
You
here?
broke. You're shaking the table. You're kicking it.
It's okay, it's fine. So, I have just handed you 2 pieces of paper. We'll each have you 1 piece of paper. And it's got numbers 1 through 8 on it. As I said earlier, this episode is titled Forgotten
This
Memories.
pencil's broken.
Is it? Fuck!
I'll
God damn it! Okay, it's
I'll
fine.
take this pen.
For the 5th time.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so,
You okay?
as I said at the start of this episode, and also multiple times since then, this episode is titled Forgotten Memories. And we talked about memories we had, almost forgotten about. And I want to challenge your memory right now. If you recall at the beginning of this episode, I asked you to repeat after me 8 things.
What?
And now, I want you to write them for me.
Do they have to be in order?
They do not have to be in order. Each one is a 2-word phrase. You get 1 point for each word you get right, and you'll get another point if you're them in the same line.
You know, I totally forgot about that, and now I remember them, and I'm not gonna get this.
There are 8 things. Each one is 2 words. Go nuts.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Alright. That's all I remember.
You just write stuff.
Uh,
I was really excited about this when I came up with it. How you feeling?
You know, I think I got really good.
Yeah? How about you, Nathaniel?
I know 2 of them for sure, and I have the right place for one of them.
Okay.
okay, so I guess you won, yeah.
Order doesn't matter, it's just if you have the 2 correct words together.
Oh, I see.
And if you have more than 16 words, I'll be upset at you. Don't just write a fucking thesaurus down. So yeah, I totally bullshitted that, like, needing an audio check.
That was a good cover.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
You're done?
Hell yeah, I
The
am.
fucking look he gave me was amazing. So angry.
I thought about it a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I got it all.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
I know there was one with THs all over the place. There was like a thrangling thrower.
Thrangling.
Okay, you know what? Since Carter is like it has so little faith, I'll just say what I have.
Dude, look, I have more than you do.
You're not gonna get him right.
I would fill out the list regardless.
Okay.
Oh, I just remembered one. Damn it.
You want to cross some out?
I don't know which one to cross out that I believe. Oh man, let's do this one. What's up?
I just keep reading Aiden's sword fight story and laughing.
I'm done with my list.
That is okay. Why don't you read your lists to me? Carter, you go first.
Alright, number 1, violet violin. Number 2, permission pepper. Number 3, 2, tomato. Number 4, tear triangle. Number 5, ass amulet.
Ass amulet.
Yeah. 6, box tackle. 7, artist armadillo. And 8, green gator.
Okay.
Okay, green grandma. I know green was part of the first one. I couldn't get the rest. Blue bastard.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you's a good one.
Violet viola.
Oh.
Tackle box. Red
Oh, that's a
red.
tackle box.
And yellow denim.
Okay. So mark it off as you get it. Green triangle.
What if I got green and I got triangle, but they're on separate ones?
Do we have to get the whole thing for it to count?
How that 2 point that does tie, you can take it.
All right.
Sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Red rhombus.
No.
Anyone get red?
I had
Nope.
red, but not rhombus. Actually, I had red twice. I put red.
That doesn't get you 2 points, unfortunately. Violet viola.
Oh, what the
Yeah.
hell?
So you get violet, but Nate gets 3 points for that. Scarlet lemur.
No.
No?
Fresh fruit.
No.
It wasn't a TH. That was what I was thinking of, though.
Tackle box.
I got box tackle.
You can tap that. You can have that. Mississippi square.
No.
No?
No. And last but not least, yellow denim.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Nate's got 11. Carter's got 5.
I told you, I don't have a good memory when it comes to that.
Well, I guess that means Nate is our winner.
Nice.
Cool.
Well earned. Good job.
I feel good. That was pretty fun. I feel good about this.
That was much better than the last episode, I'll tell you what.
Dude, anyway, I'm gonna make Aiden pity me and I'm gonna win this episode.
No, you're not getting win without a fucking again. You're not getting your 10th win off me. Man, also, by the way, I've been host 3 episodes in a row, and this is the first of the 3 that I think has gone according to plan. Having said that, unless we got a loser's speech, which this episode's long, so I'm gonna go ahead and say don't. Chicken nugget!
Aiden, it seems like you're pretty excited about something.
Yeah, it's been coming out for a while, but no episode dropped today, and I'm really hype about it. Hell of a Boss. You haven't seen it? It's absolutely worth it. It's unironically one of the best things on TV right now. Just a good time all around. They lost it a little bit in the middle of this season, but they got it back, and it's very spicy. Please, more of a vote of confidence would be appreciated. He was giving me a look like his brain fell out of his ear.
I was doing the same thing for Nate. So. I beat a lot of games recently. I beat Bloodborne, which was really nice. I beat Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which was really cool. And now I'm playing Pikmin 3. And let me tell you, despite Aiden being like, dude, you know how to play the game, I really want to relearn it from all the little text boxes around.
Yeah, watching him play Pikmin is like one of the most frustrating things I've ever done.
Okay, you gotta well, this is a horrible excuse, but you gotta realize that I did not have a lot of games in my childhood, so I had to replay a lot of games. This is why I like Paper Mario so much, because what I can do is like, I can kind of just forget about it and then replay it.
Okay.
And that's what I do about like Pikmin as well, because Pikmin 1 and 2, yeah, sure, there's some knowledge, but I kind of want to relearn it all.
Valid, but you played both last year.
Valid, but also I wanted to come in being like, wow, this game's really nice. I'm gonna explore a lot. Red Pikmin are immune to fire. That's really cool. I mean, like, enjoy the little
Moving the stick up makes you go forwards.
Yeah, I've been playing Pikmin 3. I've been really liking it.
Really? Because it seems like every time I walk in, you're fucking pissed at it.
I'm kind of liking it.
Alright, valid.
Nate, it seems like you have something on your mind. What is it?
I have really hammered this point home in the last few episodes. I'm a big Metroid fan.
Oh my god.
And what better way to get me to shut the fuck up about it than to finally talk about the latest original release in the series, which is Metroid Dread. I played it 3 times in a row, once on normal, once on hard, and I will say, very solid entry in the series. I think it's solidly middle of the pack as far as the main 2D releases go, which makes it, in my book, a solid A-tier game. Like, at this point in the gaming landscape, for when it came out, it's like, the map is very artificial. I think Metroid's contemporaries like Hollow Knight have done really well at making it more immersive, but Dread's pretty great. It's got some very high-octane moments. I'd say out of the 2D games, that has the best boss lineup in the series. Samus feels really fucking good to control. The game is worth your time.
I gotta play it because he bummed a copy off of a friend that lives in a different state of mine, so I gotta play it before I give it back to her. I think that's it, right?
No, I think we gotta, like, do it a little bit more.
we need to tell another story.
We have another story that we
Alright,
would like
fine.
to share.
Once upon a time, there was a guy named Carter, and he shat himself and died. Nathaniel, take us out.
Anyway, thanks for joining us today.
No,
You're
no.
not the host.
Also, bad outro.
Till next time.
No!
That's a mark.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this episode of Spicy Chicken Sandwich. We're really glad to have you still here. We'll see you next time. I'll be the host, and I'll make sure that things go according to plan for once. Boys,
Ow, my pride.
boys, let's send them off.
From us to you.
Good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Oh, later. Bye-bye.
Turn your altar quiet.
Yeah, bye, I guess.
See ya and stuff.
I guess.
It's my birthday! I'm turning 21 and everything is great! I'm so excited about this new chapter of my life and I'm sure everything will turn out okay.
Taxes, cardigan, vertical driver's license, washing the dishes, homeowner's insurance.
Oh jeez, if only there was a way to get these intrusive thoughts out of my head so I can enjoy my life to the fullest!
Aiden, I have a present for you.
Oh boy, what's in it?
It's Spicy Chicken Sandwich and all the streaming services with it.
Oh my goodness, give me some examples!
There's YouTube Music, there's YouTube, there's Spotify, and there's more.
Oh my gosh, how can I make the best use out of this gift and keep the voices out of my head?
You can subscribe to Spicy Chicken Sandwich on multiple platforms and watch the other episodes as well.
I thought you were my intrusive thoughts. I don't know if I should trust you.
Just let it happen. A chair that's shaped like a tree.
No!